Well, last Wednesday, we reported Memphis police found human remains at the scene of a fire south of the airport.
And this evening, those remains have been identified as missing 27-year-old Dominique Lomax. Now, she's on your screen right now. Dominique's family says she was last seen around Labor Day at an apartment complex where she was meeting up with a man.
Dominique Lomax was a 27-year-old mother from Memphis, Tennessee, who was loved deeply by those who knew her. She was last seen on September 4th, 2023 at the Highland Meadows Apartments, and just 2 days later, her burned remains were discovered near the Memphis airport. Dominique was known for her radiant personality and positive spirit. Her brother, Deontay Russell, described her as a beacon of positivity. She was not just a sister and daughter, but a loving mother who brought joy and light into the lives of her family and friends. Her sudden disappearance and tragic death have left a void that can never be filled. Before we continue, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and turn all notifications to be notified of future crime stories. Dominique was last seen on the morning of September 4th, 2023, at the Highland Meadows Apartments in Memphis. Her boyfriend reported that he had dropped her off there to meet a man named Rico. According to him, Dominique texted him saying she was about to walk somewhere else, but after he asked where, she never responded. The timeline of Dominique's disappearance is as troubling as it is mysterious. After dropping her off, Dominique's boyfriend became worried when he didn't hear back from her. He reached out to her family, and soon everyone desperately tried to get in touch with her. Calls to her phone went unanswered, and her loved ones began to fear the worst. On September 5th, Dominique's sister tried calling her phone again. This time a man answered. He claimed that he found the phone while doing yard work. He met up with Dominique's sister to return it, but this only deepened the family's concern. Dominique never went anywhere without her phone, and the fact that it was found discarded was a chilling sign that something was very wrong. By this point, Dominique's family was frantic. They contacted the police and reported her missing. Friends and family members started spreading the word, hoping someone might have seen or heard something that could help locate her. The sense of urgency and fear was palpable as each hour passed without any news. On September 6, 2023, Memphis firefighters responded to a call about a fire along Swinia Road near the Memphis airport in the early morning hours. As they worked to extinguish the flames, they made a horrifying discovery. Human remains had been burned in the fire. The police were quickly called to the scene, and the investigation began immediately. The area was cordoned off, and forensic teams started their painstaking work to identify the remains and gather any evidence that might explain what had happened. The news of the discovery spread rapidly, reaching Dominique Lomax's family, who were already consumed with worry over her sudden disappearance. The possibility that the remains could be Dominique's filled them with dread. The next day, on September 7th, the Shelby County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed their worst fears. The remains were positively identified as those of 27-year-old Dominique Lomax. The official identification brought a wave of grief crashing over her family and friends. Dominique, who had been a vibrant and loving presence in their lives, was gone. The police launched a full-scale homicide investigation treating Dominique's death as a brutal crime. They appealed to the public for any information that could help them piece together the events leading up to her death and identify those responsible. The community, shocked by the violent end to Dominique's life, rallied around her family, offering support and sharing any information that might assist the investigation. The discovery of Dominique's remains left her family in a state of profound grief. They were not only mourning the loss of a beloved daughter, sister, and mother, but also struggling with the horrific nature of her death. From the moment the remains were identified on September 7, 2023, Dominique's family has been vocal in their search for answers and justice. Dominique's mother, speaking through tears, described her daughter as the life of the party and someone who cared deeply for others. She expressed her heartbreak and anger, demanding that whoever was responsible for Dominique's death be brought to justice. "He's done a monstrous crime," she said, calling for the killer to be locked away. Dominique's sister also spoke out, emphasizing the family's need for closure. She questioned the account given by Dominique's boyfriend and insisted that someone out there knew what had happened. She recounted the disturbing moment when a stranger answered Dominique's phone and how the phone had been discarded on Mill Branch and Holmes Road. This only added to the family's suspicions and fears. The family held a vigil at Overton Park, where dozens of people gathered to remember Dominique and support the call for justice. They released green and white balloons, symbolizing their love for Dominique and their hope for answers. Candles were arranged to spell out Forever 27, highlighting the age at which Dominique's life was tragically cut short. During the vigil, Dominique's family made a public plea for information. They urged anyone who knew anything, no matter how small, to come forward. They stressed that Dominique deserved justice and that the family needed to know the truth about what happened to her. "We deserve to know what's going on," her sister said. "We deserve to know why." The Memphis Police Department supported these appeals, encouraging the public to contact Crime Stoppers with any tips. They assured the community that the investigation was ongoing and that they were committed to finding those responsible for Dominique's death. The tragic death of Dominique Lomax has had a profound impact on the entire Memphis community. However, Dominique's memory lives on through the love and determination of her family and community. By keeping her story alive and seeking justice, they hope to bring some measure of peace and closure. As we remember Dominique Lomax, let us stand together in support of her family, demand justice for her untimely death, and honor the bright spirit that touched so many lives. What are your thoughts about this tragic story? Please share your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will not miss any future cases. Your support is greatly appreciated. Until next time, I will see you with another episode of Urban Crime Stories.